Nityanandam, everybody. It's Priscilla, and I'm going to make this video really raw, and I'm just sitting here. Today has been a crazy day, and honestly, like the last few days for me, I've been going through a lot of stuff, a lot of incompletions and ups and downs I've been going through here the last few days, and I just want to share authentically about them, and also a really big click I just had and a conversation with my dear friend my Yoga Swami. And so much has been coming up for me the last few days, and let me give you a little context. So a few weeks ago, this is such a blessing. It's funny how things that really are such a blessing to us sometimes still make us feel so incomplete or anything. And I basically, Swamiji personally told Drita and I, my husband and I, the role he wanted for us in our Sangha. He wanted us to be the heads of yoga, some of the heads of yoga here. And it was so amazing to be like chosen by him. And then of course, at the same time, it brought up all these feelings in me. And basically what I've been feeling is like, so my husband is extremely athletic. He was a professional hockey player. He loves yoga. Like, this is his dream. This is his forte. But I feel like for me, I've always been really incomplete with my physical body. I haven't felt strong. I feel like I'm not that athletic. I'm not good at yoga, all these things. And so for me, all this self-doubt has been coming up. Like, why is Swamiji putting me here? Why did he choose me? Like, I've been feeling like, oh, it's just an accident. He's just grouping me because he wants Drita, my husband, to be in that position, but really I'm just like tagging along, like I'm not valuable. So I've been having so much like SDHD, which is what Swami explains as self-doubt, self-hatred, self-denial, come up, all these patterns, and I've just been feeling like I'm not valuable, I'm just like so confused. I feel so out of my element. And actually last night was a really big night. We were up super late night, and Swamiji was sitting with us, and he kind of reorganized the teams that have been here for a long time, and he switched the yoga team around, and he put us there, and he kind of said like he wanted us to be like heading yoga again. And again, it brought up this feeling in me, like I don't understand like how I'm a part of this, how I'm valuable, all these things. But we had this conversation tonight with my Yoga Swami, she's a sannyasi, a monk here. She's lived here for I think 8 years now, so she's really been around Swamiji for a long time. And a huge thing happened where last night she had gone through a really big incompletion too, coming out of it. So she was sharing with us her experience and how she came to completion. So I started asking, like, Ma, like, I basically how I've been feeling is like, I feel like I just got thrown in here. And she's like, don't make the mistake of thinking like anything happens by accident, especially here in an enlightened master's breathing space. Is like, we think that often, right, I'll speak for myself, like we forget that things never happen by accident. And I just want to reiterate this because I know it to be true, even though my mind is diluting me right now. Like, I still know this has been my life experience, is like life, the cosmos, Sadashiva, God, the divine, whatever you want to call it, is like always have this huge, elaborate, perfectly designed plan for us, and nothing is ever an accident, nothing is ever a coincidence, and we're a part of this intimately detailed, perfect picture, and sometimes we just forget that. And I am lucky enough to be literally living with an incarnation of cosmic consciousness, of Sadashiva, of God himself in the body, which is just a whole other mind-blowing, hard to wrap my head around thing in itself. But that, like, instead of my life just being like kind of like how I was living before, where I knew God existed and I would actually realize, oh, like so much of this is a beautiful part of his plan, but now I don't have to just say that to myself or like speak to God virtually in my head or anything like this. Is like I'm actually living with him in a body. So So it's just taking the experience to the next level. So the highs are really high, but the lows are really low. It's like you have to break through so much delusion so that you can come into this space of liberation, of self-realization. And as we were having this conversation, she was just giving me so many clicks because she's like I said, she's lived around Swamiji for a long time, so she's in like a very, very high frequency space too. And she said like, no, like, don't think like everything is designed perfectly for him. Like, even if you think your body is not ready, you think you're not, made for this, which is how I've been feeling. I feel like, oh, I'm weak, I'm not a yogi, all these things. I'm not naturally adept at these things. Is like, that's just such a small, it's like you're zooming up on the picture with a little magnifying glass, and you're only looking at one little freckle on the whole body. But like, this has been I don't like to use the word destiny, but like, this has been a part of the canvas that has been painted for my being for God knows how long, forever, for lifetimes. Like, I was designed for this. Like, my entire life leading up to now was literally only grooming me for this, to live in the space of an enlightened being. Like, how many people on planet Earth can say that? One. And every single thing formed me to be able to withstand the things I can, to have the ideas about myself expand, to push me to the place I needed to be so that I would be here now. And sometimes it's so easy to forget that. And I just had this click again, like, oh my God, like, you know what? No matter what I may be going through, and right now I may not be feeling that high and I may be doubting myself, is because none of this is just me. It's so much bigger than that. It's like, literally, Sadashiva, the cosmos itself, has chosen me in this body for whatever reason I may not understand, to be to lead yoga in this world, and to raise consciousness in the world through raising authentic yoga again, and what all that means. I'll continue to talk about. It's gonna be huge, let me tell you. I am so excited to see my own life unfold before me, because every day is a surprise to me too, honestly. But I just wanted to share with you guys really personally, because this is my authentic space right now. Is like, I may not be in the highest space as I might normally be. I'm processing a lot. Like, there have been a lot of tears the last couple days, fighting a lot of patterns, but just remembering, like, my life is divinely designed. Like, there is a canvas that has been painted perfectly by God himself for my life, and this isn't just for me. Like, I'm speaking to you. If you're watching this, like, do not make the mistake, have the arrogance or the ignorance to think your life is not the same. You are not an outlier. You are just as special every single moment of your life. And if we really look at it honestly, it's true. Every single moment of your life has molded you so compassionately, so perfectly, to bring you into the highest space and the highest form of yourself. There's so much for you to do in this world. There's so much bigger of a picture in this universe that we're all going to be a part of, this conscious revolution that is happening right now. And we can't lose sight of that, because that's when we will get lost. That's when we'll get in the hole and we'll bury our own self, And I'm tired of burying myself. So I'm consciously choosing, I'm not going to bury myself anymore. I'm just going to remember, no matter what, through my ups and downs, this isn't reality. I'm so much more than even this body, and there's so much bigger of a vision than I can even conceptualize for myself, that the cosmos, Sadashiva, in the form of Swamiji, my guru, Paramahamsa Nityananda, has for me. So thank you guys so much for listening to my little rant. I hope, you guys can connect to it, and reach out to me. Like, we can go through this together, whether it be ups or downs. And if you want to really, take your whole life to the level where, no matter what, like you're getting direct messages from the divine, from God, if you've been waiting for this, like it is possible here. I used to think it never was possible to get direct communication from God, but literally that's my life right now. So if sounds like your calling as well, like come live here, come be with me, we can hang out, it'll be awesome. Just extending that invitation again. But okay guys, just make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe if this resonates with you, and I'll get back to you guys very soon. Nityananda.